the progressives are transparent because they tell you what they want to do to you. They're telling you they don't want you to drive a car. They're telling you they don't want you to have a hamburger or a steak. They're telling you what they want. They're not going to live by it because, remember, they're the elitist ruling class. But all the peasants, us, are going to have to live the way they want us to live. We shouldn't have the luxuries. They should have the luxuries. And that's the fundamental change in the United States. The average person doesn't have a luxury life. Now, you don't have to have a lot of money to live in luxury. You don't have to have the best of everything. But a luxury, to me, is being happy. Okay, what makes you happy? And if they try to take that happiness away, that's a luxury. It may not be somebody else. Somebody might live in an RV, somebody might live in a palace, and they're both happy. Okay, so it's not what you have, it's how you're allowed to live your life. And they're trying to tell you how to live your life. Well, what happened to the pursuit of happiness? Well, if you tell me what I have to do, I can't pursue happiness. So what they're trying to do is they're fundamentally changing our Constitution and our Bill of Rights. And they don't teach that in school anymore. You know why? Because if you don't know what you have, you don't know what you're losing. And then when you do lose all of it, it's too late. I want to get into a little bit more stuff about Pahrump. Okay, and then we'll probably get a caller soon after the break, and we're going to talk about Pahrump stuff. At the last meeting I was with at Andy Alberti's breakfast, and the CEO, acting CEO for Valley Electric was there, he said, remember, our sheriff's department arrested Angela Evans. And I don't know her personally, but this just stinks. And with the audit that they looked at, there was no money embezzled from the company, from Valley Electric. So that means Angela Evans got arrested for what? Because the audit shows that she didn't embezzle anything. So what they arrested for? Well, he turned around and told me, Richard Peck turned around and said that there's no charges been filed against Angela Evans. That's interesting, isn't it? We got another person arrested with no charges filed. How could the sheriff's department vote for a person who arrests people with no charges? So why don't we all go down and surrender, get arrested, and then in 2 or 3 years when they figure we did something wrong, they can bring us up on charges and we can all be arrested. I don't know what's going on here, but I hope Angela Evans has a lot of good lawyers. And unfortunately, we're going to pay for this twice. The VEA is going to have to protect her because she didn't turn around and do anything wrong there. And that's all money. And the sheriff is going to have to pay. Well, we have a lawyer that's on staff, that's the prosecutor. But we're going to have to pay. Because she has a lawsuit. Because she didn't do anything wrong. Now, why did David Berkowitz go on Channel 25 and talk about this, and then a couple of days later raid a place of business? They know there's no drugs there. They know there's no little children in the basement of the place tied up as sex slaves. So why did they go in there? Why didn't they just have the DA send them a letter saying we want to see the books and we want to check this out? So you're telling me that they arrested somebody without even getting the paperwork. They arrested them so they could turn around and go get the paperwork. Well, it's a place of business. You ask for paperwork, they call the lawyers bring the paperwork in. So again, we have another blunder by the sheriff's department. So why is this happening is what I want to know. Why are you people still supporting it? Why aren't you calling the sheriff up as a citizen and say, hey, why are you arresting people with no charges? Why don't you do an investigation like what everybody does. Okay, if they didn't have to, if Robert Mueller, who I think is playing both sides of the game and sitting on both sides of the fence, why did he do an investigation? And why are the progressives mad at him now because he didn't find collusion? Okay, they thought he was going to find it. That's what the problem is. The Sheriff's Department are arresting people. Thank God that they didn't arrest our president and then do an investigation and find out there's nothing wrong. Now they're going to go after his taxes. Well, you know what? I'd like to see the sheriff's taxes for her whole life. I want to see the sheriff's taxes since she's 18 years old. I mean, Congress is looking for the sheriff's taxes, for the president's taxes. Why can't we write a letter and tell the sheriff we want to see all her tax returns since she's 18 years old? Because it's never going to happen. Okay? There's probably nothing wrong with her taxes. She's not, if she's getting any payola, she's not going to put it in the bank. And I'm not saying she is. But if she was getting paid for something that she wasn't supposed to, she's not going to put the cash in the bank. Because they don't want to pay tax. They just want to take tax money. They don't want to pay tax. So, we need to do something about our Sheriff's Department. I think that, we have a civilian review board on stuff that goes on with deputies and stuff. Why can't the the review board look at our sheriff and find out everything that she's doing and see if it's on the up and up? And if it's not, why? That's what I'd like to know. Okay, I have another announcement. Cliff Saunders was on Lazy Dog Show a couple of weeks ago, and he sent me a flyer. It's Tour of Honor. Right after I do this, we're going to take a break. Tour of Honor is going on in 50 states, 500 memorials, and it's a motorcycle ride from April 1st to October 31st. And if you want to get more information on that, go to www. I don't know how many W's I put in there, tourofhonor.com. We'll be right back.
Support for KPFF comes from B&P Dirtwork. B&P Dirtwork offers
Somebody sent me a message.
for driveways and fifth wheel pads, digging trenches, clearing lots and fields, and more. B&P Dirtwork is licensed, insured, and happy to work for you. More information.
Somebody telling me I'm a moron. No, I'm just kidding. I'm actually looking for interns to help us with the radio show. So somebody just responded they would love to do it. So that's a nice thing.
Are that of the program hosts, co-hosts, guests, and callers alone, and are not necessarily those of the station or its affiliates.
Hello, this is LD, Lazy Dog Michael John. I'm going to host a show Sunday evenings at 7 p.m. called Lazy Dog's Front Porch. Why don't you come on by?
I hope you could hear that music
pull up a chair
and the
join us.
announcements.
We're going to have a good time. We're
Try to
chat
set that
about
up a little bit better for you guys.
Everything else, we might even become interesting. We'll just see where it goes. Sunday night, 7 p.m. on KPFF.
Hello, listeners. Want to know what talk programs are broadcast by KPFF? The KPFF program guide is now on our Frump Film Festival website.
It's very upsetting on what
If you want
goes
to see
on.
what's coming up this week on KPFF, just go
How
to
do you arrest somebody with no charges?
www.frumpfilmfestival.org.
They do it all the time here.
As programs are added or changed.
They do it all the time here.
That's www.frumpfilmfestival.org.
Oh yeah, and it's not
For the
Brave
best
New
talk
World.
programs in Pahrump.
Yeah?
1984
This
was
is Mike
not Brave
here.
New World.
Yeah, they're two different books.
Friday night from 7 to 8 on
And in
KPFF
1984
97.7 with the Dwight
is,
Willey Show. But guess what? I
The
also
Ministry
have
of
a
Truth.
Monday
Right,
night show
right.
But
from
it's a
7
different
to
book.
8
It's,
o'clock every Monday. New program, new information for you, the listeners.
It's 1984 is the name of the book.
Fridays and Monday at
That's
7
right.
p.m.
Yeah, it is. Okay.
It's
This is
1984, the Ministry of
97.7,
Truth.
Pahrum's
I
community
don't
radio
think-
station.
And welcome back. I was just talking to Steve during the break, and he was talking about 1984 is not the Brave New World. I must have linked them to. I know they're not. They're two different books. So It's 1984 that had the Ministry of Truth.
Right.
That must be the Sheriff's Department. That's the Sheriff's Department. They're the Ministry of Truth. There you go. Okay, and what is this from? This is from 1984, right?
Yeah.
In the time of universal deceit, telling the truth is a revolutionary act. That's from 1984, George Orwell. Okay, so again, Pure Communications phone number is 702-628-5662. All right. Now we're gonna Nevada. Nevada is #1 in domestic violence, and that's pretty sad. I mean, #1 in domestic violence. First of all, I don't know why people have to be violent with their partners or their family. I don't get that. I mean, go outside, look at the sky, listen to the wind or the birds or something. Stop beating up your family. We have a caller? Go ahead, caller.
Ray the Flagman here.
Hey, Ray, what about that domestic violence? You're not beating up Itchy 8 tonight, are you?
I didn't hear the last part. Domestic violence, what?
We're #1. Nevada is #1 for domestic violence. I said you're not going to beat up Itchy 8 tonight, right?
I was calling in, so I shut the radio off.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I said I was kidding around. Saying,
#1. I know that
it's sad.
Chicago, I think, is what they named the most corrupt, as far as politicians go. Most corrupt city. You pointed it out.
Yes. Yeah, it's the most corrupt city.
Let me just run through a few things here.
Sure.
At the Harvest Day parade back in 2008, I was standing on the side because I walk the parade every year.
Uh-huh.
When the Barack Obama float came through, all these teenagers were just watching, all joined that float. I knew right then and there that what was going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Just the young minds were so influenced, they said, we want this guy, and it was just huge. All these people from the side just joined that float. So
Well,
that's what happened there.
You know, one of the things why that happened too is a lot of people voted for him also, not because they just liked him, but they voted for him because they wanted to be part of history.
Yeah, you could be right.
Oh yeah, I've watched plenty of news programs. Even a guy on Fox News, very intelligent, rich guy born in Harlem, New York, and he voted for Barack Obama even though he didn't think he was going to be good for the economy. He just wanted to be part of history.
Yeah, people act in strange ways. Sometimes they just want, I think it was even in some elections when they see, and they haven't voted yet, but they see the trend and they want to say they voted for the winner. And so they'll jump ship and vote opposite the way they were going to vote because they want to say they voted for the winner.
Yeah. Well, I tell you, Oprah Winfrey had a big influence on his vote, his winning. Because during her program, she promoted him, and she had a following from her show that people did anything that she said. Anything she promoted, books, foods, anything, she had a fantastic following. And she got him a lot of votes. A lot. Millions.
Yeah, that's what happens.
Yep.
Someone with influence, they get behind somebody and, things happen that way. All right, Wednesday, there's a bench trial you may be interested in. The guy's name is Jesse Christoph, but he wants to be called autodidactic. And if they call him anything else but that, he gets all offended. He's in a suicide suit. You may want to watch it at 9 o'clock Wednesday. I know Wednesday's going to be a busy day for you.
Yeah.
But keep that in mind anyway.
Okay.
This Me Too movement is way out of control.
Uh-huh.
When I was running for sheriff, I pointed out at campaign nights, I said, they could bring up something when you're 16, 17 years old and all of a sudden make you look like a bad person.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to change the whole attitude of the dating system and everything else, Anthony.
Oh, I know it.
They're going to be afraid to even ask a girl out because something may, the way he terms it or whatever, they're going to come back, and hammer him on something.
Oh.
I think you know it. Me Too is out of control.
Yeah, oh, let me tell you something. When I first moved here, if there was anybody walking in the street, okay, and it was hot out, I'd pull over and give them a ride. I'm afraid to do it now.
I'm the same way.
Yeah.
Since '98, I started walking every day with flag and the Bill of Rights. Women will ask me for a ride, and I'll say, no, I can't do it.
because I know just the inference that they were in my car or maybe something happened.
Right.
Scares the hell out of you. You can't help people out.
I know it's horrible, ain't it?
Come back to haunt you.
Yeah.
Hey, two other things I want to discuss. Do you know that they want to knock the driver's license down to 14 now?
Really?
They're talking about this on TV. I'm saying, well, what is going on? 14. I thought 16 was acceptable. Also, as far as voting, they want to knock that down to 16.
Well, there's a reason for that, and you know what that is.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And then how come if I were in Mexico and tried to come into this country as an American, I'd need a passport. They wouldn't just let me in or let me walk through, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Somebody that goes down there to visit or whatever, or goes for medical assistance, they need the passport to get back. And yet, everybody else could just jump over the fence or cross over, and all of a sudden they're allowed to stay in this country. And then if you even got the passport, they're still going to run you for wants and warrants.
Yep.
People have been picked up coming back into this country because there may be a warrant in Nye County form, and they'll sometimes put on a bus.
Yeah, let's lock up the Americans coming back into the country, but let everybody else jump over the fence.
That's right. And, you know, Louis DeCamio is completely right. Show us the money. This is what all about with Valley Electric.
Yeah.
Show us the money. I mean, we're talking about millions of dollars here, and nobody seems to know where it's at, and everybody's beating around the bush. Just show us the money.
Let me tell you where the money is.
27th, this new guy, Peck, is going to say, well, here's where it is, and actually we found an account we forgot about. There's 20 million in it or something like that, so we don't have to raise the rates or whatever, but just show us the money.
Let me tell you where the money went. The money went to the 40 people that they didn't need to hire 8 years ago. We had more staff. That's why they're laying people off. Because he was building an organization for growth. And we didn't get it. Now, when the economy collapsed in 2008 and 2009, he should have started cutting those people loose then. He hung on to them for 8 to 10 years longer than he needed, waiting for the growth. It's just like the town board when they were here. They kept telling people, oh, come in, we need this, we need this, we need this, hoping for the growth, and it didn't happen. You know how many people lost their life savings opening businesses in Pahrump? Too many.
Well, you know, everything is so convoluted right now, it's hard to know every day you get up, you know, what the day is going to have for you. I did talk to somebody at the DA's office, and the show Live PD is put on hold for Nye County. They do it in 4-month increments, and right now, they're not going to be doing it for a while. Thank God for small favors, right?
Yeah, they shouldn't. The people should start calling the sheriff's department, turn and tell them we don't want it. Okay? Because they're making us look bad.
That's right. It makes us look like a bunch of...
Dope addicts.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Oh, they're not going to go to...
Barry Dent was coming up on Thursday. He's got a case in Justice Court. I don't think he's going to be there, but I just want to make note, mention it to you in case I forget when I talk to you Wednesday. But he's going up on some charges they got in Justice Court. I don't believe he's going to be there. So
Right.
I'll let you get back to your show. You're really hot tonight. I like that. And I want to say, like I always end my show when I'm on the show, I accept Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior. Keep the faith. Power to the people. Thank God we saved the Tigers. We saved them 4 times. Ray the Flagman, over and out.
Good night, Ray. Thanks for the call. Okay, April 19th at the VA clinic, there is a lunch for the vets and the staff. Please, if you're a vet, I'll probably drive a couple of vets up there. I wanted to talk to the guys from DAV anyway about one of my other friends, so I might be up there. I won't be eating lunch because I'm not a vet. And, what do you call it? I just want people to go there and enjoy themselves. You deserve it. You deserve a lot more than that, but it's a good start. Okay, I just wanted to let you know that our governor, Sisolak, who ran that he was more progressive than the next person, has decided to put a hold on charter schools. Okay, and why does he want to put a hold on charter schools? Well, we talked about it. How do you poison a little kid's mind? Send them to a public school, because that's where the indoctrination starts. Okay, these are not buildings of education, it's indoctrination. You do what we tell you. And it's amazing that over the last 10 years how history has changed. You pick up a history book, if they even have any anymore, and you pick up a history book that I had in my classroom in grammar school, which they call elementary school now, and I guarantee you the stories are different. And I want to know who is changing history. Not making history, okay, because today will be history. But who has changed how this country was founded and what twists did they put in there? And I'll tell you how benign this happens. Look at Ice Age, cartoon, right? And it's where the dinosaurs go, and now it's because the dinosaurs are gone because of global warming. How do you like that? They showed the ice melting, and everybody is, or the heat is coming, and the water's drying up, and all the animals are dying off because of global warming. And they're putting that, indoctrinating the children with these movies. And movies are interesting and fun, but if you actually see that they're planting that seed so they don't have to fight people in 15 years about global warming. They'll think it's happened. That's all they know about is global warming. So that's a problem. So yeah, they're putting charter schools on hold, and until 2021. So all these people that had plans, all these organizations like the Heritage Foundation, and they're promoting Constitution and stuff like that, and all these religious schools that wanted to get money from the charter system, and maybe your kids can get the education that you want them to have. That's on hold until 2021. And they hate charter schools. The progressives hate charter schools because the charter school has to follow a certain curriculum, but not all of it. And they can actually teach some good stuff. Maybe we could teach kids that they don't need a computer or a calculator to learn. And that's what we need. We need people that can turn around and actually use their brain. Remember, young kid, it's just a bunch of gray mush in there, just dying for input. Okay? And the input that they get is the adult that they become. So if you put crap in, you're going to get crap out. There's the problem. And that's the problem, because I remember when I was in New York, my girlfriend had, 2 little grandchildren, and there's stuff that I taught them. They're now 20 and 19 and 17. And the stuff that I taught them about family and things like that, they still talk about that today. And their loyalty to their cousins and the rest of their family, and I used to teach them, even if you do something wrong, I promise you, if you tell the truth, your parents won't punish you. And I made the deal with their parents. I said, if they do something wrong and they tell you the truth, don't punish them. You want them to tell